Hi, everyone. Great to have you here. So I'm Caroline, Technical Customer Success Manager in Cloudinary, and I am here with Patrick, Senior Solution Engineer. Today's session is all about showing you what happens when automation meets AI, and specifically how Cloud Media Flows combined with the AI Vision add-on can supercharge your image workflow. We're going to walk you through real example of customer use case using prompt-based visual analysis to extract the insights from your assets and then automate what happens next. So whether you want to tag, to routing, to organize your assets, or even applying any design logic, you will see how to build a media flow that does the heavy lifting for you. So there would be no manual steps, no more guesswork, just intelligent automation that responds to your content in real time. So if you ever wanted to turn your visual data into very structured, usable metadata, or to trigger smart action directly from your images and video, then this is your toolkit. So let's jump in and see how all this works. Just before we dive in, a few quick guidelines to help you get the most out of this session. Give this your focus. We're here for 30 minutes. There's a lot of value packed in these 30 minutes and some really cool things that you're going to see. Feel free to take notes or anything that stands out or, spark some ideas, whether it's the use case that we're going to go over or the flow setup or any prompt example, capture whatever is relevant for you. And the most importantly, look for different ways how you can apply this right away. And the goal is to make all these tools very practical and actionable for your own workflows. Lastly, have fun. We're working with very powerful tools today, and we hope they're going to help you. First of all, let's see what MediaFlow is about. MediaFlow is Cloudinary visual workflow automation solution. And it's all about helping you getting a better work done. And not only a better work done, but make it very fast. So what you see in this GIF is how MediaFlow literally orchestrates your media workflow with different blocks, a kind of drag and drop logic. We will see it in a live demo in a few minutes. MediaFlow is a very flexible system with endless possibilities. Today, we're going to show you how AI Vision takes that to the next level. So at its core, MediaFlow is designed to automate all the repetitive tasks that slow your teams down. So you can focus on the creative or strategic things that really, really matters. It will empower both your non-technical and technical team to actually contribute and build automation thanks to its no-code, low-code approach. MediaFlows actually articulates on two main use cases. The first one is the internal process within Cloudinary that are focused mostly around your image and video processing, your media management, doing whatever you want so you can streamline whatever process your media needs to go through and then remove all the manual process. So for example, enriching your data, align the naming convention, resizing, performing transformation, and so on. The second use case, the second bucket that you see is to connect Cloudinary with any type of third-party services that you worked with. So with your CMS, with your PIM, your internal system that you might need, and make Cloudinary your single source of truth for your digital asset management. So how does it work? Just like any other workflow automation tool in the industry, the core of MediaFlows is about trigger and action. So when a trigger occurs, then an action happens. For the connect example, you can set a trigger to say when an image is ready, meaning when a structured metadata is updated or a tag is added, for example, please perform an action. And the action here is connected to my website or my CMS. When a video is uploaded, then the action will be, please resize it. This is how the media flow works. Now let's discuss a little bit about the AI Vision add-on. Cloudinary AI Vision add-on is your AI-powered tool for your images. Think of AI Vision as your superpower sidekick for images. It will use generative AI to understand and respond to your prompts. So you can automate either your tagging, your moderation, and do it very, very fast. Let's dive deep on this. With AI Vision, you can solve different use cases. For example, the first one is general Q&A. You ask AI Vision, what's in that image? What's in them or where they are? And it answers you with real context-aware insights. The second use case is about content moderation and compliance. You can use it to instantly check if an image meets actually your brands or your platform rules just by asking simple yes/no questions. So is the image cropped in a way that facial features such as eyes, nose, or is there anything in the image that could be considered as violent or disturbing? And the third use case with AI Vision is about custom taxonomy and classification. And that's what we're going to discuss after with a customer use case. In this case, if you need to organize your image your own way, AI Vision will help you sort them into your custom categories without any model training or any heavy setup. That's what AI Vision does. So now that we have a very clear picture of what media flows and AI Vision can do, let's take a look at today's customer's case. Many of you might resonate with this and recognize the challenges that other customers were facing. It's a very strong example of how removing very repetitive manual work can transform a slow, inefficient process into something that is very fast, very consistent, and very scalable. So let's walk you through how those customers approached it and what the impact looked like for them. So imagine you're a person in charge of all the image coming in from hotels and travel partners. So every week, your job is getting big batches of photos. Some of them are bedrooms, some are pools, all mixed together. Your work is actually to turn that very raw input into very clean, well-ordered image carousel for each hotels or property on your website. So you need to decide what should appear first on the hero image, which images to hide, how to keep the experience consistent across many destinations. And there's also a long-term ambition here about personalization. For example, if I'm browsing your website as a parent who wants to plan a family holiday, I would care most about the kids' pool and the family use room. But if I'm traveling with friends or as a couple, I might care more about the bar, the spa, or the rooftop view. Once we know how each image is categorized, we can start shaping what different audiences see first on your website. So we can put the most relevant content in front of each specific audience. So today we'll show you the step that actually makes it possible. So just before we dive into the live demo, this is what happened for those customers before they used Cloudinary Mediaflow and AI Vision. The team used to receive huge batches of images from their partners, from hotels, via email or via shared folders. They actually opened each image on the computer, decided what it was, like, was it a room, was it a pool, was it a bar? And then they actually manually figured out where it should appear in the carousel. They had to do this for every property: opening, inspecting, dragging, reordering, double checking. So you can see how this easily adds up to hours of repetitive work. So now let's dive into this powerful demo with Patrick. This use case will show you the capabilities of Cloudinary Media Flows and AI Vision and how it solves very different critical business challenges. Patrick, I guess the floor is yours.
Thank you. Perfect. Hopefully you can see my screen now. Excellent. So what I'm going to talk you through is the interface for media flows. We're not going to go into tremendous detail about every step, but I'll give you an idea about how this flow works. Hopefully you'll get the idea of what it is that might be possible, and it'll inspire you to come up with use cases of your own. This is the view that you see when you're using media flows. It's broken out like a flow chart. On the left, as Caroline mentioned, you've got the upload block. So this is where it's triggering the action to start. In this case, anything uploaded into a particular folder is going to be sorted and managed by passing through the rest of the flow. The next block is the main one here. This is the AI Vision block, where all of the magic happens. Then we have some blocks to rejig the results into the form that we need. Finally, we're updating the metadata, so the information held alongside each image so that we don't lose anything once we've captured the information. And then finally, the very last step is to rename the assets so that they're using the naming convention and the ordering that we want to have preserved. Now, this is just one approach for the ways that you could manage this. You wouldn't necessarily have to rename the files, but the customer that we were working with in this case, that was how they managed things. So that's the way that we've done it. I'm going to drill into just one of these blocks, the AI Vision one, and look at how that actually works. We can actually see the process in action. If I click on the AI Vision box here, it's pretty straightforward. It's taking the asset that's been uploaded and applying this prompt to it. You may have better eyes than I, but just in case you can't read this very well, I'm going to skip across to the slide and show you the real important parts of this. So there's a bit more to the prompt than this, but broadly, it's asking a very high level question. Here's a list of possible categories, and we want the Vision AI to determine which one of these categories that image fits into. So in this case, we've got bedrooms, pools, children's pools, so on, just like Caroline was talking about. The crucial point here is that you can see these are numbered, and they're numbered in this specific way so that when we apply these to the names of the files, they'll be sorted into the correct order and the order that we want the carousel to appear in. We are storing it as metadata. We could use that to sort it. You could do complicated use cases, as Caroline was hinting at, like being able to have different orders for different user categories. So let's see this in action. I'm going to come out of the media flows section here and go back into Cloudinary DAM, and we'll upload some assets and watch it happening in real time. So I'm just going to go into this folder here. You can see there's a couple of images in here already. I want to add some more, so I'm just going to click on upload. I'm going to add a tag to this so that we can tag them with the name of the hotel. I'm just going to put in 5 more assets in this case here. So let's find the ones that I want. I have on my downloads the hotel images, and we can go into these and select all of these 5 images. You can see that they're named just image 1 through 5. So I'm putting all of those assets in, and they're going to be uploaded in the background. The way that this process actually works is you can see the upload happening down here. The images are being pulled in. After they've entered the Cloudinary Asset Management System, they'll get renamed with the category and the number put at the beginning of the file name. That means you can then sort them using that file name, and that puts them in the correct order. That's exactly what the customer in this case was doing. We should see after a very short while, I can start to refresh these, and you can see that these are getting renamed here. So we've got hotel exterior, a restaurant, kids club, bedroom, indoor pool, correctly categorized with the correct naming convention. At the moment, it's sorting by the last replaced, but if I change the order to the public ID, which is the name in this case, then it's going to sort them. I want them to be in ascending order. So we can see that the bedroom is now first, then the outdoor pool, and the kids club restaurant in exactly the same order that we looked at when we were looking at the slide of the categories before. 30 seconds that we've taken to upload all of those images. They've been put in the right order. I could check these now, make sure that I'm happy with them. And once I am, I can upload them to the website or even connect Cloudinary directly to your website. In this case, I've got an example carousel that I built here. And if I refresh the page, we can see all of the images loading in the order specified before. So now all of my images are present. They're in the right order. And I've had to put very little manual effort into it. Hopefully that was useful. I'll hand you back to Caroline, and she can share her screen again to go through the rest of their presentation.
Thank you, Patrick. Always loving to see that live. Do you see my screen? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So thanks, Patrick. To sum up what you showed us is that instead of opening every single image, dragging them around, renaming them one by one, your team now just have to upload those batch of images. Then, that upload will automatically triggers a media flow. The AI vision does the classification, and the flow applies the naming and ordering rules based on the categories you created. What they get back is a set of images that is already organized, labeled according to your business logic. And your job now would be just to review the results and make very small tweaks if needed. That's why we say that this takes your processes from hours to actually down to minutes. And this is not in theory, like it's been running in production for a couple of months now across different customers, across hundreds, if not thousands of images. Those customers are happy with the time saving and the consistency that they're actually getting. Patrick.
Sure. So we just wanted to remind you that this talk we're giving today is an inspiration. It may be that you have the exactly same problem, or no doubt you have a slightly different order that you want things in, or maybe a different approach to how you order things in your carousel. But also, this should be inspiration for other things you could do. Your imagination is the limit in these cases. Vision AI can analyze your images in ways that are pretty spectacular, as you can see. And we just wanted to give a couple more examples of this. A really common one nowadays is alt text, so providing a visual description of the image itself. Obviously, this is something that you might need to apply for the European accessibility laws nowadays. You need to insert that in the page. It's a quick and easy way to generate that. It's also a great way to generate just generally metadata, not just categories like this, but also ones that you can use for searching within the back end of the system, tags and things like that. You can use this to connect into third parties and have self check-in from to use a travel kind of analogy in this case. So if you want to have your hotels upload directly into Cloudinary and then have the Vision AI do the analysis and sorting of the content, you can remove manual processes from the loop. The slide that Caroline showed at the beginning, where it had emails and FTP and things like that being the way that content got in, can be a thing of the past, and you can push it directly into Cloudinary in those cases. Something to remember here is that these are only examples. We'd love to hear your own use cases, and we could be happy to work with you on how we can help.
Thank you, Patrick. To wrap up, we want to leave you with a simple invitation. Come, tell us about your challenges, bring us the manual work that you're still doing with your images and videos. If your team, are spending lots of time tagging, sorting, renaming, moderating, preparing assets for different channel. That's exactly the kind of work that we can automate with MediaFlow and AI Vision. Just tell us where the pain is. You are the experts in your day-to-day challenges, I guess. And we are the expert in the media automation at scale. So if it takes hours today, we can probably get it down to minutes. So that's it. Thank you for your time. Hope it was a valuable session. I wanted to know if there were some questions in the Q&A, anything that we haven't replied to. Maybe we can give you a minute or two if you're interested to write down your questions, and we'll answer them.
While we're waiting for questions, I can ask a question of my own, Caroline. I was wondering, is this something that the customers would have to do themselves, or is it something that we can provide as a service so we help them all the way through it?
So we have different solutions in place. You can come to us with your challenge, and we have different solutions. We have professional services that can help you build media flows. Or if you have partners that work between you and Cloudinary, those partners are certified and know how to build that workflow for you as well. Hope that answers the question, Patrick.
Thank you very much.
Sure, thanks.
I see one question in the group, which is whether or not AI Vision works with videos. The answer is not yet. That is something we're seriously considering. At the moment, it's an image-only approach, but we're absolutely keen to look at videos as the next step. If you have a requirement that involves videos, we'd love to speak to you about it. coming soon, I would say.
And I would add that the more kind of official requests we have from customer, the more as a technical customer success manager, I can go to the product team internally and push those products to get live and the priority of those productization. So feel free to reach out either to me, to the Cloudinary support, to your account managers, to your customer success manager, and ask for that so we can forward that request to the internal Cloudinary product team. Any other questions, remark, idea, comment, anything?
So it looks like we have one more question. It's about trying to understand the limitations of the AI vision, where it won't work and where it does work, and using it at scale. I certainly wouldn't worry about using it at scale. From my point of view, it's more than capable of dealing with whatever kind of levels of scale that you want to throw at it. The question about where it works and where it doesn't work is an interesting one. Actually, when we were originally working with this customer to build this use case, we had a much more complex prompt to try and understand which category things were falling into. Simplifying made a big difference in that case. It's tricky to predict exactly where it's going to be really successful and where it's going to, struggle. I'd say broad categorizations, it's very good at, absolute specifics, less so. But I think these are all also things that are moving very fast. Something that may not be good at today, in just a few months or weeks or days even, can be turned around and changes made to make it improved at. So there's a combination of the technology and also the prompts behind the scenes. And so there's an important one there.
Thank you, Patrick, for answering that question. Anything else? Any other comment, question?
I see one more question, but I don't know whether we've got enough time to answer it. So
yeah, we still have a minute or two.
We have a minute. So a follow-up question about images that might have low light or a bare minimum of photo clarity, and maybe the kinds of framing of the picture itself. All of these can be dealt with. Some of them, the Vision AI is the right tool. Other ones, Cloudinary has some other tools to be able to deal with these. It really depends. And I think this is where the experience that you have is invaluable. Being able to see what your actual challenges are and what the images are that you're receiving and therefore that are not suitable in one way or another. Those are the ammunition we need in order to develop a solution. But certainly I've seen Vision AI and that analyze pictures and make determinations about how good, they are from a quality perspective. But there's a lot of devil in the detail, so to speak.
You can use different Cloudinary capabilities within the media flow. There are different blocks within the media flow, and you can connect, different tools that Cloudinary has within the media flow. So you can use the AI vision to use those prompts, but then you can ask, like, with the results that we have with those prompts, like, then we use another add-on to, perform another action. So keep in mind that in this media flow platform, you can add different Cloudinary capabilities. You don't have to use only the AI vision. So yeah, hope it helps. Do we have other questions, comments, ideas, anything else regarding media flows, AI vision, the use case that we went through? Do we see something else?
So there's one last question I see, which is about which LLM, large language model, we're using for AI vision, and is it something you can change? The version that we use for AI vision is one that we've customized ourselves. It is based on a kind of publicly available model, but it's one that we've tuned specifically for our use case. But you can absolutely use other ones. Media Flows is not restrictive in any way. In fact, we have specific blocks already for ChatGPT and Gemini, the Google AI model. So you can use either of those straight away, and other third-party models could absolutely be introduced as well. We have generic blocks to reach out to other services, so they could also be implemented today.
Eran, which is actually the VP of Media Flow here, did we miss anything? Do you want to add anything to that?
Sounds amazing.
That's what's amazing with Media Flow. You can actually personalize the blocks that you want to use in it and the different integrations that you want to have. It's a real powerful tool. So yeah, your imagination is the limit with both Media Flow and AI vision.
If you see something missing and want to add another capability into media flows, reach out to our support. We will be happy to get your feedback and develop new blocks according to your needs.
Or reach out to your technical CSM or your account managers. We'll take care of you. Okay, we are past 3 minutes now. Is there anything else? Last question? Perfect. Thanks again for your time. I hope this was a valuable session. Please feel free to reach out for any additional comments, questions, and I guess we'll see you on another Cloudinary Cafe session. Thank you and have a great end of the day or end of the morning, wherever you are. Bye, everyone.
Thanks.